It began as a subtle shift in Khan Vizam behaviour. Scattered reports of their ships, once rarely seen outside their own space, are now being spotted in remote systems all across the galaxy. Highly advanced scouting vessels visiting ancient ruined worlds, refusing all hails and fleeing when attacked. Their purpose and mission unknown. Until now. We now know that the Khan Vizam were preparing, recovering the databanks of survey beacons and automated scouting posts left behind when they retreated to their present borders, gathering information for the return to the galactic stage. In Khan Vizam space, fleets are gathering, armies are being mustered, and ancient factories roar to life. For the first time in an age, the Khan Vizam Crusaders are looking outwards beyond their borders and towards the galaxy at large. As their decaying shipyards are repaired and refitted and the dormant systems of Titan foundries come online, the rest of the galaxy is left with only one question. Who will this once sleeping giant target first in their quest to reclaim age-old glory lost? We have nearly wiped out the Sinor and the Norani. We managed to eliminate the Zin in the last war we had, but the time is now with the Endgame crisis. And the Endgame crisis is the awakening of the Khan Vizam Crusaders. I think they have two fleets. This one here, which is worth 420,000, and this one here, which is worth 325,000. So that's a total of 800,000, alongside citadel stations with some substantial defences. I, however, have a number of 100,000 plus armies, and I'm gathering them around the outskirts, ready to go into that system and take out their fleets. My fleets are gathering at stations wherever possible because they can repair whilst awaiting their colleagues. And even though my fleets are maxing out at about 100k, you can see from the outline on the right that I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fleets of at least 100,000. So that's worth 1 million against their 700. So I should be able to go in there and take them out before they decide to leave the system. We're fortunate that they've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exit points. So we can gather our forces around those exit points. And these two fleets here, for example, probably need to gather at Maval whilst these fleets are gathering here. Now, and they've got a colony ship. I wonder where they're planning on sending that. I'm just letting all my troop movements come to a conclusion, and under the advice of a friend, to set them all to aggressive rather than passive. This does of course mean that if the Khan Vizam attempt to come to us first, our fleets will engage them. There should be 1 or 2 spectacular battles brewing here, guys. Could have done with that gateway being open, but it is being worked on as we speak. 37 days, so it will open up soon. I mean, taking out the rest of the galaxy does mean that I'm largely on my own, because I don't think these other empires will come in. I took a strategic decision to send for white peace against the Sinor and the Norani, reducing them to a couple of pimples in the galaxy.
System survey complete.
I think once we've taken out the Khan Vizam, we could claim galactic domination. For the final act of preparation, we are going to make all of these fleets here follow one fleet leader. They are all too big to merge, so they're going to have to go in formation rather than as a single navy. I'm going to go in and take out these fleets first, because I think if I can take out the fleets first, we break their resistance. Here we go, Khan Vizam.
Diplomatic alert. War protocols initiated.
Right. This fleet in there. This fleet in there. And this fleet in there. And let's see how we get on. We've gone for a three-pronged attack. How are we doing here? As we join this fight, the fleet that was in that system has already been destroyed or has fled. We have. As you can see here, the fleet going in from the south has already taken over the system. You could also see another fleet going in there to back up the defending fleet, which basically means the Khan Vizsla Crusaders are throwing their fleets away because they're pitching them in against our almightily superior strength. Considering how this is meant to be a fallen empire, the garrison defending the planet in the Dultari system is only 528, which means it will roll over very quickly once our 4,000 army goes in there to occupy the planet. Their counterattack and this battle effectively wipes out the last remaining sections of their navies, and it leaves the rest of the system pretty much undefended. The garrison of 3,170 could prove an irritant, but it will eventually fall, subject to some bombarding and some armies going in there to take the planet. It's also worth noting at this point that because this was a fallen empire whose borders were closed to the rest of the galaxy, we had not been able to send science ships in to survey the systems. Therefore, any systems that we don't occupy will have to be surveyed after the war and outposts set up in order to assimilate the territory into our empire. Although this graphic seems to be moving slowly, what you can see here is that our armies are in fact taking over Dultari 1 with very little effort and minimal damage to our armies. Celestial Throne is the system's homeworld, which is why it has that very large garrison of 3,296. So we will be working on that and reducing it before our armies go in to take the planet.
Ground invasion units have achieved all objectives.
And there we go, Dultari is now welcomed into the Machine Empire. The war is proceeding nicely. Dultari is the first to be totally assimilated, but as you can see there are two more systems waiting to have their planets subjugated, and there is only 3 more planetary systems to be taken, so we're about halfway through at this stage. Here you can see they have launched a counteroffensive by taking Lastus offers. So whilst we're pushing in from east to west, they look like they are trying to move southwards to take territory from us. This does mean we will have to take those systems back, but they are certainly not as strongly defended as the home systems would have been when the war started. This is an interesting microcosm. What have they got knocking around?
Dissected.
Yeah, I think we've got stronger armies. Stronger navies, sorry. Just don't know about the army situation. See, that's still high. How strong's my army? It's only 3k, so we've got to send that in. Oh, we've got to send you in there. Sorry, we've got to send you in there. The retaking of Lastus bears out what I said a few moments ago, in that the Khan Visarm Crusaders have not got anything strong enough to defend against us, and the ease with which Lastus was reclaimed proves that point. Okay, so we're starting to pin them down a little bit. They're coming down quite a lot in their army size, look. They're just over 200,000 now. That fleet should be able to make short work of those.
Planetary pacification protocols initiated.
Where? Yeah, we should take that out, alright. They're down to their capital planet now, look. But that fleet does need to come down here and take this one out. First they take one, then we take one. It's a bit like playing cat and mouse.
Have achieved all objectives.
What's the garrison here like? 528. So that should be able to take that out. Army. Click. Right click. Land. They're trying to fight back. We're chasing them down. That's their last fleet, I'm sure of it.
Planetary pacification protocols initiated.
Yeah, we should win that. We've now poured into Dultara with overwhelming force, so that fleet should go down very quickly and the system will become ours once again. It now looks as if their military might has been eradicated, and it's just a matter of time now for us to occupy these planets that we've not yet taken to bring this crisis to a conclusion. There is no garrison on this planet, so it will go down very quickly when our armies get in there.
Planetary pacification protocols initiated. Ground invasion units have achieved all objectives.
We just got to get... Oh, flipping heck. No, you're still too weak for that. Stop, stop, stop. Yeah, go and take that one out while we bombard these planets. We have got to bombard. We've got to bombard the Celestial Throne. We've also got to bombard the Sky Temple. We need to go indiscriminate for that. I've noticed with selective they stop too early. So we are nearly there. I think we've taken out their fleets and we've just got to get their planets worn down now.
Planetary pacification.
And that will be the end of the Endgame crisis. Ooh, what's that? Psionic infantry. Khan Vizar. Psionics haven't played a particularly large role in this game, and that may be because civilizations were being eliminated before they had chance to discover psionics or the Shroud. And although the Khan Vizar only have one psionic army, that's the only one I've seemed to have seen all game. Right, let's move into this system and see how we're getting on with the bombardment. It's 2 planets. Yeah, they are gradually being worn down, look. Not fast enough for my liking though. What about the Sky Temple? Same. Coming down but slowly. I might try and send an army in whilst the planet is being bombarded. Because they've now arrived. Let's see what happens here. It's a Gaia world. These messages from all these worlds. That is one of the problems with being galactically dominant, is that you have all the star systems and all the worlds, and it becomes massive, massive challenge to keep them all under control. You may as well go home to be reinforced. Oh, it's already at full strength. I'll have to check that one out then. Is it time to go in and pick them off? I'm going to send that arm. I'm going to send... We are now going to jump forward to see our first attempt at landing armies in that final system. Okay, let's have a play. We'll leave the Celestial Throne till last. Because we will humiliate them in their capital city.
Planetary pacification protocols initiated.
I don't like that. Too many reserves. The trick that I was missing at this point is that my armies are much, much stronger because of the heavy war machines than the regular defending armies. So let's see how this one plays out.
Ground invasion units have failed to achieve objectives.
I think retreat at that point was a bit cowardly, because the defending armies were going down a lot quicker than ours were, and perhaps, had that battle continued, we may well have won it. The plan at this stage now was to put everything I had into the battle for those final 2 planets. Let's see how this plays out. They're both going down. See, now we've got all these gateways open. It's not taking them very long to find us and join us. That's now an 8k army. That is now ready. Take out Sky Temple first. Fallen Empire, eh? And both of their planets are surrounded by our ships and our armies. That's more like it. We can take out their reserves. This has been an interesting journey from a single star system to galactic domination. Once the Fallen Empire has gone, then we've beaten the Endgame crisis, and as you've seen from the galactic map, the remaining empires, which are the Sinor and the Nabani, are pimples, really, on the backside of our empire. And once the truces are up, we could go in and eliminate them anytime we want, because they really are no longer in a position to challenge our galactic dominance. Let's watch this planet fall, and then we will go and take on the celestial throne. Only two more on the front line. It's interesting that even though they're disengaged, they're still dying. Unless, of course, they are retreating for another day.
Ground invasion units have achieved all objectives.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. They've still got a planet left. Or have we taken it? No, we've taken it. Look, Celestial Throne has become ours. End of the Khan Vizarm Crusaders. The ancient precursor state of Khan Vizarm Crusaders has met its final demise at the hands of its enemies. What the fall of this once great empire for the galactic politics means remains to be seen. Well, we know what it means. It means we are now, without doubt, the best empire in the galaxy. So if I zoom out, we can have one final look at the galaxy. There are the Desanu consonants, which we need to go in and sort out. They're the L-gate builders, but that may be an appendix to the Chronicles. I shall have a look at that one. But in the meantime, if you've got this far on this journey with us, thank you very much for sticking with us. And you can now see that we have achieved our aim of galactic supremacy.